Hey everyone, and welcome. Ever wonder what happened to those people who just vanished? Poof, gone without a trace? I'm Dinu, and today we're diving into some of history's most baffling disappearances. Cases so strange they continue to stump historians and armchair detectives alike. Get ready for some seriously spooky stories. But before we get started, be sure to hit that like button if you enjoy a good mystery, and subscribe for more deep dives into the unexplained. Trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. Plus, subscribing means you'll get notified every time we release a new video. Deal? Let's kick things off with a classic, The Lost Colony of Roanoke. This one's got it all: mystery, intrigue, and enough theories to make your head spin. Picture this. It's the late 1580s and a group of English settlers arrives on Roanoke Island, now part of North Carolina, with dreams of establishing a new colony. They build houses, plant crops, and try to make a go of it in this new world. But things, as they often do in these stories, quickly go south. See, the governor, a fellow by the name of John White, realizes they're running low on supplies, so he sets sail back to England, promising to return as soon as possible. Now remember that war with Spain I mentioned earlier? Yeah, that little hiccup throws a wrench into White's plans. He gets stuck in England for 3 years due to the conflict. 3 years? Can you imagine? I mean, I can barely remember what I had for breakfast. Anyway, when White finally makes it back to Roanoke in 1590, he's met with an unsettling sight. The entire colony, over 100 men, women, and children, had vanished, like completely disappeared. Poof! It's like they packed up their things and said, "Alright, this place is a bit too creepy, even for us." But here's the really weird part. The buildings were still standing, there were no signs of a struggle, no mass graves, no indication of what might have happened. It's like they just evaporated into thin air. The only clue left behind, a single word carved into a fence post: Croatoan. And as if that wasn't spooky enough, they also found Crow carved into a nearby tree. So, what happened? Did they decide to ditch the whole colony thing and shack up with the local Native American tribes? It's a theory, but there's no concrete evidence to back it up. Were they wiped out by some unknown disease that left no trace? Or maybe they were attacked by a rival faction, though you'd think there'd be some signs of a struggle. The mystery endures, making Roanoke one of the most enduring enigmas in American history. Even today, historians and archaeologists continue to search for answers, hoping to uncover new clues that might finally solve this centuries-old puzzle. From the shores of colonial America, we now travel across the pond to 19th century Germany, where we encounter another baffling vanishing act: the curious case of Benjamin Bathurst. Now, Bathurst wasn't just some random dude who decided to wander off after too many pints of ale. This guy was a British diplomat, in fact. Talk about intrigue. It's 1809 and Europe is a hotbed of political tension. Napoleon is on the rise and nations are scrambling for power. Bathurst, operating under the alias Baron de Kock, is in the thick of it, trying to forge alliances and gather intelligence. Talk about a stressful job, right? Anyway, Bathurst is on his way back to England when he makes a fateful stop at an inn in Perleberg, Germany. It's a dark and stormy night, because of course it is, and Bathurst decides to step out to inspect his coach. And that, my friends, is the last anyone ever sees of him. His secretary, who was literally just steps away, paying the innkeeper, turns around and poof, no Bathurst. It's as if he was swallowed whole by the night. Now you might be thinking, maybe he just got lost in the dark. But here's the thing. Bathurst vanished without a trace. No footprints, no signs of a struggle, no ransom demands, nothing. Naturally, this sparks a flurry of speculation and conspiracy theories. Some believe he was kidnapped by enemy agents, silenced for knowing too much about Napoleon's plans. Others suspect he was a victim of foul play, perhaps meeting an untimely end at the hands of a highwayman or a political rival. But like all good mysteries, the truth remains elusive. Chapter 3: Jimmy Hoffa. Alright folks, buckle up because this next case takes us straight into the heart of American organized crime. We're diving into a story filled with intrigue, power struggles, and a mystery that has baffled investigators for decades. Let's talk about Jimmy Hoffa, a name synonymous with power, corruption, and one of the most infamous disappearances in history. His story is a tangled web of ambition, influence, and danger. Now Hoffa wasn't just some ordinary Joe. He was a man who commanded respect and fear in equal measure. This was the president of the International Brotherhood of Teamsters, one of the most powerful labor unions in the United States. Under his leadership, the union grew in strength and influence, becoming a force to be reckoned with. But with great power, as they say, comes a whole lot of baggage. And Hoffa's baggage was heavy, filled with secrets and scandals. And Hoffa, well, he had enough baggage to fill a cargo plane. His connections and dealings were as vast as they were shadowy. This guy was connected to everyone, politicians, businessmen, and yes, even the mob. His network was extensive and often dangerous. You see, Hoffa wasn't afraid to get his hands dirty, and he made a lot of enemies along the way. His methods were often ruthless, and he didn't shy away from confrontation. Enemies with names like Tony Pro and Sally Bugs. These were not just rivals, they were dangerous adversaries. I'm not making this up. The world Hoffa navigated was filled with characters straight out of a crime novel. So, it's July 30th, 1975. A day that would go down in history for all the wrong reasons. Hoffa, a man who seemingly had the world in his back pocket, tells his wife he's going to meet a couple of associates at a restaurant in suburban Detroit. It seemed like just another day in the life of Jimmy Hoffa. This was no ordinary lunch meeting though. The stakes were high and the atmosphere was tense. Hoffa was supposed to be meeting with some heavy hitters in the Detroit Mafia. These were men who played by their own rules, and then, poof, the man simply vanished, never seen again. It was as if he had been erased from existence. No phone call, no ransom note, no nothing. The silence was deafening and the mystery deepened. Now, when a guy with Hoffa's history disappears, you know the rumor mill's gonna be working overtime. Speculation ran wild, and everyone had a theory. And boy did the theories fly, each one more outlandish than the last. Was this a mob hit, ordered by rivals who were tired of Hoffa's power plays? The underworld was rife with whispers. Did he get on the wrong side of some powerful politician? Politics and crime often intersected in Hoffa's world. Or maybe, just maybe, he decided to stage his own disappearance and live out his days on a beach somewhere, sipping Mai Tais and ignoring the chaos he left behind. It was a tantalizing thought. The FBI, always up for a good mystery, launched a full-blown investigation. They were determined to uncover the truth. They searched high and low, followed every lead, interviewed countless witnesses, but it was like trying to find a needle in a haystack the size of Texas. The case remains one of the greatest unsolved mysteries in American history. Chapter 4. Other Notable Disappearances. Of course, the world is full of strange and unexplained disappearances. It's like some people just step off the stage of history, leaving behind nothing but unanswered questions and a whole lot of head-scratching. And believe me, we've only just scratched the surface. Take Amelia Earhart, for instance. A true pioneer of aviation, she dreamed of circumnavigating the globe. But in 1937, while flying over the Pacific Ocean, Earhart and her plane vanished without a trace. Was it a mechanical failure? Did they run out of fuel? Or did something more sinister occur? Theories abound, but the mystery of Amelia Earhart's disappearance continues to fascinate and intrigue us. Then, there's the unsettling case of the Flannan Isles Lighthouse, a lonely outpost perched on a remote cluster of islands off the coast of Scotland. In 1900, the lighthouse's 3 keepers vanished without a trace. The only clue? A half-eaten meal in a chair overturned as if interrupted mid-sentence. What happened to those keepers? Were they swept away by a rogue wave? Did they meet with foul play? Or did the isolation of the island drive them to madness? The Flannan Isles Lighthouse remains a chilling reminder of the power of the sea and the mysteries it holds. And who could forget the baffling disappearance of Louis Le Prince? This French inventor is often credited with creating the first ever motion picture camera. But just as he's on the verge of sharing his invention with the world, Le Prince boards a train and disappears. No luggage, no witnesses, no explanation. Did a rival steal his invention and silence him? Or was there another reason for his sudden vanishing act? The mystery of Louis Le Prince remains one of history's most intriguing unsolved cases. These are just a few examples of the countless people who have seemingly vanished into thin air, leaving behind a trail of unanswered questions and endless speculation. It's enough to make you wonder, right? Are there forces at work beyond our understanding, secret societies, alternate dimensions? Or is the answer far simpler, a combination of unfortunate circumstances and the passage of time? The truth may be out there, but for now, these disappearances remain shrouded in mystery, inviting us to ponder and speculate. So, there you have it, a few of history's most baffling disappearances. From lost colonies to vanished diplomats, these stories remind us that sometimes the truth is stranger than fiction, and that some mysteries may never be fully solved, no matter how hard we try. Which one do you find the most intriguing? Do you have any theories of your own? Let me know in the comments below. I always love a good conspiracy theory. Don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to the channel for more mysterious content. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.